We are back with another monthly wrap-up of some of the weird, bizarre, and even scary news to come out of Japan over the last month. So what happened over the last month or so? Let's take a look. Number 1. Alright guys, let's put it out there. Have you ever wanted to get paid to chat online with ladies from Japan? This is a safe space, you can let me know. And if you speak Japanese, well, it may surprise you to learn that one company is looking for your services. It turns out that Ace, a company that runs an otome dating sim game, is looking for actual warm bodies, and not AI, to write responses as a virtual boyfriend to the lovely ladies playing their game. You are entrusted with creating and sending messages to customers as a character in a chat-type otome game run by our company, states the job description. Pay ranges from 1,150 to 2,100 yen an hour, and you can work from home, which is honestly not that bad. Number 2. 7-Eleven's shoplifting countermeasures are crazy. A tweet went viral this month for showing how one convenience store dealt with shoplifters. A good old naming and shaming. The store posted photos of people who had apparently stolen things from the store and listed all the information it could about them. The date and time it took place, how old they appeared and other physical details, what they took and how much it cost. And of course, photos of them from the security cameras. But perhaps most interesting of all is the note at the end of each photo, remarking that if the apparent shoplifters wanted the photos removed from public view, they'd have to pay the store 10,000 yen. Yikes. Commenters pointed out that displaying these photos probably isn't very legal to begin with, let alone asking for money to have them removed, but people were overwhelmingly supportive of their naming and shaming efforts regardless. Smile, you're on security camera. Number 3. I wasn't trying to show her my backside. I just wanted a young woman to see the G-string I was wearing. In very serious news, on November 27th, a 44-year-old company employee from Okayama City was arrested on suspicion of breaking Okayama's nuisance prevention ordinance. His crime? Revealing his backside to a teenage girl. The man was reportedly on an escalator in a shopping centre around 5:30 on November 26th, when he suddenly pulled his pants down to flash the girl who was behind him. She caught an unfortunate eyeful of butt cheeks and, after reporting it, the man was apprehended by security, who then called the police. But oddly enough, while the man didn't deny flashing the girl, he did dispute the reason, claiming that he didn't mean to show her his backside. He just wanted her to see the G-string he was wearing. Right. Seems like a pretty open and shut case, but it goes without saying, don't try to show your G-string in public. You will get arrested and probably traumatize a few people along the way as well. Number 4. I'm sure we're all aware of the Super Size Me experiment, where a man ate nothing but McDonald's for a month, but it seems Japan has its own version. Last month, a young man revealed that he has been eating nothing but sukiya, a restaurant chain that specializes in gyudon, for nearly 5 whole years. The 31-year-old started his daily meals there in 2019, simply because he liked their food. Then he joined a Mercari campaign where he got points with each person who signed up, and after doing exceedingly well, enough to get the Nintendo Switch he wanted, he decided to keep spending it at sukiya, which he's still doing to this day. But how is his health? Well, he reportedly lost weight when he first started, but when he started drinking more, he gained weight. The food itself didn't seem to make an impact, but rather how much exercise and/or alcohol he had with it. He has also had regular health checkups due to concerns with his salt intake, but again, they've all come back fine. On a surface level, his health appears to be fine, but he reportedly struggled at first with eating the same sukiya rice over and over, simply because he was bored of it. And how did he get past that? By adding a ton of ginger. He plans to continue his sukiya lifestyle into the future as well, but whether it will have any long-term effects on his health remains to be seen. Number 5. We all know or have at least seen someone who used something way past the point they should have, whether they were too stubborn to get rid of it or take it for repairs. But a tweet this month went viral for, well, possibly the worst case I've ever seen as well. A customer who has the most used tyres I've ever seen, the tweet said. The tyres were completely worn out. The rims completely worn out. They were driving on the discs. The brake hose was broken. And they brought the car in for me to have a look at because their tyres were flat. The poster continued that both front wheels looked just like this. And yes, they'd been driving it like this for a while. It's a wonder the car even moved, let alone that they weren't stopped by anyone beforehand. Further comments revealed that they ended up having to scrap the car, and they sent the driver home in a different one. There was simply no cheap or feasible way to salvage it. I have a lot of questions about this one, but probably the biggest remains, what did you run over if you think this was just a flat tire? Number 6. Ask anyone who has spent some time in Japan and they'll tell you that it's a rather subtle country. What I mean by that is that people don't generally like to be direct, but rather you're supposed to understand things from context and do your best to avoid conflict. Well, it seems that some areas take that further than others, and an interesting escape house will soon be opening in Kyoto that will put your understanding of that to the limit. Called Just Daily Kyoto's Conversation in English, this unique escape house will be open for just 2 days, on January 25th and 26th. And to get through it, you'll need to talk with people from Kyoto and understand what true meaning hides behind what they say. Kyoto has unique sayings that have an entirely different meaning to them. For example, would you like some cooked rice with green tea? If you heard that, you might think, oh, nice, they're offering me food. How gracious of them. But in Kyoto, this actually means, hey, could you please leave now? The escape house has 4 sections, and you can go in groups of 4 and discuss what you think the lady of the house is actually asking you to do. And if you guess correctly, you can move on. A true test of understanding Kyoto's culture. Good luck. Number 7. In more idol news this month, the group Plank Stars, who are known as a prankster group who get up to all sorts of mischief, such as literally stepping on fans, sleeping on stage, leaving concerts mid-song to buy churros, and other based decisions, announced this month that they're finally looking to get married. And yes, they're recruiting. Literally. The group announced that they would be disbanding in February 2025, and so, now that they're getting on in years, they're accepting applications from single people aged 18 and over who actually want to marry them. Hey, where is everyone who said they want to marry me? This is your only chance, the 28-year-old leader said. You must agree to showing your face in a documentary they'll film about the project, be over 18, and single. You must also give them details such as your job, income, and state what you think an ideal married life looks like. Of course, being that this group is known for getting up to all sorts of hijinks, well, it remains to be seen what happens at the end of this project. But hey, if you're lucky, maybe they'll at least step on you again. Number 8. In a first for Osaka Prefecture, a man this month had his license suspended for, well, letting a drunk friend ride his bicycle home. He then followed behind him. But according to Osaka's recently revised road traffic law, this is now illegal, and his car license has been suspended for 6 months. In addition, a young couple in their 20s also had their car licenses suspended for riding an electric scooter while drunk. Osaka isn't messing around, and if you're on any sort of transport while drunk, you can and will lose your car license as well. And yes, that includes scooters and apparently lending your drunk friends a bike as well. Number 9. Yamibaito, or dark part-time jobs, have been on the rise in Japan over the last few years. This is generally where criminals recruit people over social media for high-paying jobs, and once they rope someone in, it's revealed that the job is actually something highly illegal, like breaking and entering. Police have been trying to fight and bring awareness to this, and it seems they're not alone. At the end of November, the 6th generation Yamaguchi-gumi held an executive meeting and proclaimed the dangers of dark part-time jobs. They advised all their own members not to get involved, and warned they would take strict actions against anyone who did. And they weren't alone, as various other Yakuza clans around the country have also come out and said the same. And if the Yakuza are warning their own members against doing it, then you should heed their warning too. Whether their members actually follow these orders, however, is, of course, another story entirely. Number 10. And on that note, finally this month, a 15-year-old boy was arrested in Chiba Prefecture this month after being accused of taking part in bank transfer fraud. And how was he caught? Well, the suit he was wearing was far too big for him. It was reported that the boy wanted some spending money for Christmas, and an older boy he knew from his hometown told him about a job where he could make some good money. That job, of course, was a yamibaito. He was instructed to call an 84-year-old woman and tell her that her bank card was old, so it had to be replaced. He then showed up on her doorstep to collect it, but a neighbor saw the young boy and his suit that was far too big for him and found him suspicious. The neighbor told her not to hand the card over and instead called the police, who then arrested the boy a short time later. Don't take on yamibaito, kids, and definitely don't do it if you don't even have a suit that fits. And that's just some of the weird, bizarre, terrifying, and also kind of funny news that came out of Japan last month. But what about you guys? Hear of anything odd or terrifying, weird or funny? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.